Oh, hey, figured I owe you guys a bit of an update on how the chop is going on the Merc. I'm really not going to show you much. Maybe just show you how I started off. Hope you enjoy this. All right, I wasn't going to do a video release of this until it was completely done, but I thought I owed it to my many subscribers and followers that I thought I'd do at least a part one here of chopping the top off. Now, full disclosure, it's come a long ways. It's actually, at this point for part one, it's pretty far into it right now. I'm not going to show you, and the reason for that is the car is going to be revealed at a car show coming up, Motorama. So that's here in Toronto, and if you're watching this, depending on what year you're watching it, this is 2022. So the car show's coming up April 29th in Toronto. So that's where the car is being revealed. So that's why we're doing this in a few stages, and why I also wasn't revealing the car as we go along. Because I kind of want to be special for that show, just to show off the chop. Good, bad, ugly. I don't know, it's my first chop. So I'm going to take you along here and just show you what how I sort of laid it out in the beginning, and just chopping the top off, and mostly the layout, and then, you know, what I thought from looking at other guys' videos and other people doing it. So where I laid out the lines, and where I cut it and actually lifted the top off. And then after that, I'm not going to reveal anything, because let me tell you, it's cool. I think anyways. So hope you guys like this, and please subscribe and tag along for the rest of it, because it's probably going to be broken out into about a 3-part video. This can be number 1. 2 will be putting the top back on and sort of getting it welded in place. And then 3 will be somewhat finishing it out. I don't know if I will finish it out before the show, but 3 will be, you know, finishing out the big gaps in that, and finishing it off. So please subscribe and follow along with this build and all my other builds. So thanks. So I'm just gonna bite the bullet and see how far we get. I think that, I mean, I'm procrastinating on it a bit, maybe not, doing some other stuff to the car, but I think I'm ready. I think I just want to do it, get it over with, see what happens. What's the worst case scenario? I mean, wreck the car? Nah. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the reason why I want to chop this top and get it over with. I actually don't like these cars unchopped. I don't like the look of them when they're not chopped. I kind of think they look like an oversized Beetle. Not that there's anything wrong with Beetles, but I just think on this car they look better chopped. So a few people said, well, why ruin the car potentially? Why wreck it? In my mind, the way the car is now is not the way I like it. So if it's not chopped, I don't want the car. I mean, a lot of us custom car guys, we've seen Mercs chopped all the time, right? So it's not like I'm doing anything, oh my God, it's crazy, it's weird. Lots of people have chopped them. There's lots of tutorials out there of people on how to chop them, how they've done it. I've got an idea of how I'm going to do this one, but like I said, I'm chopping it because I don't like the look of the car unchopped. So we're just going to get after it. I'm going to start. I've got some bracing on the other side. I'm going to put some more bracing on the inside here. But before I do that, I'm going to pop the windshield out. And I'm going to leave the back glass in, because the back glass is crucial on these 51s. And if it's just not right, they don't look right to me, because they can have a hump in the middle of the window. So everybody says, well, how low are you gonna, how much are you going to chop it? Everyone says. I don't know. I'm just going to lay this window down. I want to keep the rear trim here. So wherever this trim ends up, I want to keep this trim as well. So I mean, I know that looks like I've only got a couple inches there to go, but I can bring this down and I can trim this piece of chrome up that goes along here. So I've got quite a bit that I can lay this down. I didn't initially want to extend the trunk piece forward and bring the windshield up, but maybe I will. I don't know, I'm going to leave it attached at first. I'm going to cut it to about here and try and lay it down and see what happens. Which would mean, you know, cutting some out of here, whatever, to get it once it's all finished and whatever. But I've seen a few people that have done it that way, left it attached, laid it down. So I'm going to try that. And then just lay the roof back on, and what I want to get is a nice sort of even flow of this angle and the trunk angle. It's hard to describe. I mean, I can set a straight edge on there and sort of describe it, but it's got to just flow and not end up with a hump in this window. Now, what's interesting too is a lot of these windows, this one seems to be a bit flat here, but some of them have a real hump in this section, and you can't really figure out why. You can't figure out if it's an aftermarket window that doesn't have the hump, or an aftermarket one that does have the hump, or is it just because the way the window's sitting right now, but not really. I think I checked out my four-door that's sitting around the side, and it may have a bit more hump to it. But I don't know, we're just going to have to see. So I'm going to carry on here, getting this thing ready. Like I said, I'm going to leave this back window in. I do have new rubber for it, and hopefully I won't wreck this one. And if I wreck this back glass, thankfully I've got one around the corner in the four-door. Front windshield, if I crack the windshield, doesn't matter because it's got to be chopped anyway. So I'm going to get to bracing this up a little bit. Like I said, pull the windshield out, brace this up a little bit more, and then just start marking out my cuts where they're going to go. And I'm just going to get after it. I mean, you can sit around here and procrastinate and stare at it all you want and think of this and think of that. And all you want not to do it. You got more reasons to do it than not to do it. Okay, so I put some braces in. One here between the door, driver's door. I had the passenger door done previously, and I did one down to the rocker. I was worried when I was doing the rocker panels on this car I don't know, I guess I was nervous that it was going to move around all over the place. That's not the case, so I'm not really worried about it on this side because it's not going anywhere. When you cut the rocker panels out, you still got this piece, so the door's not going to spread because you still have that piece in, which is solid. If that piece was rotten, sure, you'd want to brace that up because then your door might spread apart or move, but that's all solid down there, same on the other side. So didn't really need to be done on the bottom in my mind anyway. So the only thing I care about here is the door gap opening, because obviously I'm cutting this pillar out so this pillar can lean back. So I've got that done on both sides, that's supported. The reason why I've got them down lower like that is so that I can get the dashboard back in after the fact. I don't need one across this way because the lower windshield is holding that together. It's not going to separate because you've got that piece in there. So I'm not worried about that. The floor, yeah, the tunnel's cut out of it, but it's bolted down. So the body's all bolted to the frame, so that's not going to split apart because it's bolted down, it's bolted solid, so that shouldn't go anywhere. You know, it's got the support from what's left of the firewall still, so I'm not worried about that personally. Other people might be, but I don't care. Back here, so I did throw another one back in just in case. There's not that many body bolts in this area. Up here, there's 2 body bolts basically right where those doors are to hold it in place. Back here, there's not really, there is one there, but anyways, I just felt that, you know what, I've got the tunnel cut out, I'll put another one in there. Probably should have done that before I cut the tunnel out anyways, but oh well. In the back, there's junk in here. I may brace up the back window surround, just put one around the window. The thing is, it's going to get tricky to get up in there because of, you know, the window being in place. It's going to be hard. I don't need one across the back because the package tray is staying for now anyways, or probably will always stay. So that shouldn't be an issue. And the braces for the package tray are still welded in, so that's not a problem. So that's all supported on the bottom part. And the roof, you don't want to put them across the top because I'm going to be kind of stretching and manipulating that a little bit. So you don't want them in the way. So now it's just whether I do the back window or not, whether I brace it up. And I think because I've got the window in, it should be okay. I shouldn't really need to brace that up. If I didn't have the back window in there, it'd just be like paper when you cut it apart and sort of be flimsy. Because I've got the back window in, it should stay solid. So that part should be fine. So let's get to cutting this thing apart. Okay, so what I did there is I was trying to find where this windshield frame, if you can see, it curves in here, then gets narrow, and then starts to curve back out again. So I was trying to find where the narrowest part of the frame was, or windshield frame, basically where it was the same, really. And so I'm only doing a mild chop on this. Because I'm tall and don't want to end up scooching down too far. So I'm just going to take 2 inches for now. And that's my bottom mark. And that's my 2-inch mark. Now this mark up here is just where it starts to curve back out. And that's what I was doing with that straight edge. Just trying to see with the straight edge where it starts to curve back out. And if you look closely, you can see it even curves back out just a little bit before that mark. So I'll wrap my tape around now, and that's my 2-inch mark there. And I should be the same on the other side. I'll just reference and measure a little bit more, but basically this bottom mark here is where it stops curving. So I'll reference that to the other side and just make sure we're in the same spot, which I think we are, and we'll be good to go.